I am making a twist on the best Canadian drunk food there is, poutine. But I'm swapping out the fries for tots, and I'm adding short ribs. So to get started, I'm seasoning 1.5 pounds of boneless beef short ribs all over with kosher salt. So get some black pepper on here. I've got a pot heating on my stove over medium-high heat. I'll add a drizzle of neutral oil and then brown these on all sides. That's exactly the sound I'm looking to hear. It's smelling heavenly in here already. Look at that one. That is a golden, crispy shell that I'm looking for. So I'll flip this and get that same color on all sides. I'm gonna remove them from my pot now to build the braising liquid. I'll reduce the heat on this pot to medium and add my veggies, sweet carrots, and a white onion, and 3 garlic cloves that I've just smashed. I'll season with a good pinch of salt. And I'm using the fat from the short ribs to cook the veggies. I'll let them soften. I'll add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, which will add some richness to the braising liquid and allow it to caramelize slightly. Next, I'm gonna pour in a whole bottle of beer, and I'm gonna use this to help loosen up some of the tasty bits that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. I'll add 1.5 cups of low sodium beef stock. I'll toss in a couple of thyme sprigs to infuse this with great herbiness. I'll bring this to a boil. It's already making the kitchen smell incredible. I'll remove it from the heat, transfer the short ribs back into the pot. I'll cover this up and stick it in the oven at 325 degrees for 2.5 to 3 hours until the short ribs are fall apart tender. My short ribs are cooked. They're ready to come out of the oven. Let me look at these beauties. That is one of the top 5 smells of all time. I'll fish out the short ribs. I'll set those aside and then fish out all of my veggies and thyme sprigs because I'm gonna use the braising liquid here to make the gravy. And now to build the gravy, I'll heat a pot over medium and melt 2 tablespoons of butter and combine it with 2 tablespoons of flour to create a roux. I'll whisk this around and cook this for a couple of minutes to get rid of that floury flavor. I just need the texture to help thicken the gravy. I'll continue to whisk now as I gradually ladle in the braising liquid. The braising liquid looks so fatty and good. It thickens up at first, but then as I add more of the braising liquid, it'll smooth out into a luxurious gravy. I'm gonna thin it out with a bit more of my low sodium beef stock. Looking good. I'll hold this over low heat now while I shred my short ribs to add back to the gravy. And this is not taking any effort at all because these short ribs are so tender. This is going back into the gravy. I'll grab my baked tots. They're golden and so crispy. The third main ingredient is cheese curds. And a very important finishing touch, malt vinegar. I'll pile some tots onto my serving plate. I can hear how crispy they are. Now, cheese curds, they will add creaminess, a little chewiness. I'll ladle over the saucy short ribs. To help cut all this richness, a few shakes of malt vinegar will go a very long way. And lastly, because it looks pretty, some fresh chives and fresh parsley. I am diving in immediately. A tot, some short ribs, a few herbs, and a cheese curd. It's cheesy, it's saucy, it's meaty, it's salty, and that vinegar is the perfect hit at the end. That was stupid good.